Because of the weight difference, dude. Can you imagine, bro? You're facing Canelo Alvarez, man. Nobody ever heard of you. Nobody even knows your name, all that stuff, bro. But because I'm thrilled for that, because I know Canelo is so huge and so strong, and yeah, I suppose that he'll be just too big. Weight classes matter for Floyd Mayweather addressed the idea of Terence Crawford facing Canelo Alvarez by calling it a solid matchup, but urged Crawford to be careful. He underlined that boxing isn't a sport to play with, especially with the clear weight disparity, and warned Crawford to think wisely before walking into that ring.
And it's a good matchup with those two. You know, may the best man win. But this sport is something that you can't play with. Boxing is something that you can't play with.
Crawford is determined to prove everyone wrong, saying the Canelo fight is a big challenge because he loves challenges. He says nobody is that big and believes in his skills. While people criticize him for choosing Canelo, saying he's too big, Crawford is focused on showing he can handle it. That's a fight because of the challenge. I love the challenges, and I love the people that I hear them now. You're too little. You know Canelo's going to break you. He's going to stop you. You're coming from 147. That's way too big. This and that. I can hear it now. And that just excites me to go in there and just be like, okay, let me prove him wrong once again. That fight would be enormous if Canelo gets through Jamal and then you guys fight. That fight would be gigantic. And it's weird because, like, in the past interviews I was thinking, man, Canelo is too big, man. There are weight classes for a reason. I was like, no. The sport of boxing is built on the foundation of weight classes for a reason. These divisions exist not just as formalities, but to protect fighters from facing opponents whose size and power could pose serious risks. When the discussion turns to Terence Crawford facing Canelo Alvarez, one glaring concern keeps surfacing: the massive weight difference. Canelo operates comfortably at 168 lbs, while Crawford has made his name in divisions far below that. Fighters and analysts alike are unified in their concern that this jump in weight might simply be too steep for Crawford to handle.
Divisions for a reason, right or wrong?
Right. Manny Pacquiao, bro.
Okay.
What's your take on Manny?
Pacquiao didn't move up 3 weight divisions at once.
Okay.
Fight a pound-for-pound fighter.
Okay, so Canelo's got it. How does Canelo get it done?
I don't know, man. It might be the boringest fight ever. It might be the best fight ever. But I will tell you this: it's not a fight I truly care about. Crawford's not really entertaining. I don't really care about who he fights. But I will tell you like this: he's a tremendous fighter. He's a great fighter, but he's not really entertaining outside the ring. There's nothing that makes me want to be like, I can't wait to see the next Terence Crawford fight.
Current fighters aren't holding back their opinions either, Raleigh. Romero openly stated that weight classes are there for a reason, pointing out the obvious size imbalance between Crawford and Canelo. He even predicted a Canelo victory based purely on physicality. Floyd Mayweather, who famously beat a young Canelo Alvarez, recently reflected on his own experience. Even though Mayweather won that fight, he made it clear that Canelo wasn't the same fighter then that he is now. Canelo has grown into a powerhouse since that loss, more mature, stronger, and physically dominant. Mayweather acknowledged that while he was older during their clash, he still recognized Canelo's potential and power. It's crazy that, Canelo said that because when Canelo fought me, he was in his prime, and when I fought, I was an old man, so I wasn't actually in my prime when I fought Canelo, I was an old man when I fought Canelo, just like this right here, young guy. Even though I'm old, I've got a lot of experience. I'm going to go out there and just show him that this is the elite level, and it's something totally different. Boxing icon. Mike Tyson didn't mince words while discussing the matchup. For him, the concept of Crawford walking into the ring with someone like Canelo is a mistake. Tyson noted Canelo's strength, his aggressive style, and his ability to wear opponents down with relentless pressure. Tyson believes that this kind of bout may not end well for Crawford, highlighting that the danger outweighs the gain.
Tremendous fighter. You're a big supporter of his. He wants to move up 3 weight classes and fight Canelo. What do you think?
He can do what he wants, but I don't think that's a good idea.
Why?
I just don't think it's a good idea. I don't think, what would he have? I don't know. I just don't think it's a good idea. People have done things crazy like that before. It's just that he doesn't have to do it. He doesn't have to.
3 rising star David Benavidez expressed a more confused opinion. While he respects both boxers, he said he would prefer this bout didn't happen. Benavidez understands that Canelo is the money fight in boxing right now. Everyone wants a piece of him. However, he's uneasy about the extreme jump in weight for Crawford in his view. chasing greatness is admirable. But it shouldn't come at the cost of fairness or safety. Crawford throwing his hat in to want to fight Canelo at 168. I mean, everybody wants to fight Canelo. It's a money fight. You know, I mean it. I think even Inoue would come up to fight Canelo. Canelo wanted to fight him. I mean, I don't want to see Crawford to fight, Canelo, to be honest with you, but, it would be, I'm not saying it wouldn't be a great fight, it would be a great fight, but I feel like if I deserve my opportunity, and I'm going, and after this fight, what else are you gonna say? You know what I mean? This is a tough fight. No, the top WB, the top people ranked at WC are fighting each other, so I mean, it should be an easy call. If I can't get those fights, then I'll go up. I'll go up to fight Bolo. Or I'll go try to, you know, I set my conquest on 175. Like I said, I don't want any handouts either. I want to, you know, earn my spots everywhere I go, even at 175. But, you know, I see that weight class. You know, I want to become champion at 175, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Amir Khan, who has already shared the ring with Canelo, offered one of the most poignant warnings. Thinking back to his own experience, Khan confessed he misjudged how much the size differential would affect. He described Canelo as a beast and highlighted that he learned the hard way why weight classes exist. His message to Crawford was straightforward: proceed with care.
You know, when it was offered to me, I tried to chase the Mayweather fight at that time, and that happened. And obviously, I was quite at my peak of my career then as well. So, whoever I was going to fight, I was going to give him a hard fight regardless. Because we were winning that fight against Canelo, I was taking over, yeah. But, yeah, I was boxing well, but you know one thing, sizes, now I understand why they make weight divisions in boxing, every weight division, but then again, look bro, you would probably take it, I was offered like 10 million quid bro, 10 million quid bro, look, end of the day, this is like, it's a lot of money, you know. I thought about it, what made me, when I got the deal on the table for 10 mil, I was like, should I take it or not? But then I worked it out. Normally I have to have 3 or 4 hard training camps and fights to make that kind of money. I still one fight. So you want to do it in that one fight, you know what I mean?
Does Canelo beat Crawford?
Size, bro, remember, like Crawford then is a big boy as well. Crawford's a big guy when it comes to weight. A box fight, yeah. I think Crawford, in my opinion, but size might matter. But then again, I think since when I fought Canelo's become a better boxer. He started boxing more better. You know, the technical more. Especially against the last fight against Mangui, he boxed really well as well, and he's looking really good. He's still, a lot of people might say, oh, he's getting old, this and another, but no, Canelo's still a beast.
I mean, Eddie Hunt says don't levels above Adam. What do you think?
I think today, Adam proved he is probably at the same level, and but in my opinion, both guys want to fight each other.
O2 boxing analyst Showbiz. The adult added a scary viewpoint as described hearing Canelo's strikes up close and observed how frightening they sounded even when not. Hurled at full velocity, spaceman. Films What Up Biz, who you got? Canelo Crawford got Canelo. I heard the punches that he hit Charlo. I don't know if Crawford can absorb those punches. I know he's a great man and a great warrior, but you come from 147 to put on a better fight. Then, I mean, I don't even know what that means. I don't know if that means that Crawford is so great and he can do that, or that means that Charlo set the bar so damn low that anybody could do better than Charlo did last night. Do skill really pay the bill? 'Cause pay the bills. That's why Canelo too. Joe Rogan, a longtime fight commentator, emphasized how hard Canelo hits. Rogan wasn't analyzing strategy or footwork. He was focused purely on the physical damage Canelo can inflict.
Guys that just have preposterous power, and Canelo is a guy that has power but is constantly working on it. There's a great clip of him working with Andy Ruiz. You know that shield, that weird hand shield that they hold up for hooks. Yeah. And he's like, "This is not for speed. This is just power. Just power." He's like, "Don't try to be fast with this. Just power." And you see him, hey, boom! Bro, he hits so hard.
20 sports commentator Stephen A. Smith didn't hold back either. During a live broadcast, he flat out said he loathed the idea of this bout. Smith believes that the discrepancy in weight and strength makes the contest risky for Crawford. Let me tell you what I think should be gone. The notion that Terrence Bud Crawford should move up 3 weight classes, 21 lbs, to fight Canelo Alvarez. He's entirely too small. Jamal Charlo already proved that. Y'all remember that scene from Rocky? Remember that scene from Rocky 2 when Carl Weathers was Apollo Creed and his trainer was like, "Can I be honest? I saw you beat this man within an inch of his life, and he kept coming. He wouldn't go away. He's wrong for us, baby. He's wrong. Let it go." Paulo couldn't do it and lost fight number 2. Trained him for fight Rocky III, and then got killed in Rocky IV by Drago because he couldn't let it go. Bud Crawford needs to let it go too. Small legendary Mexican boxer Julio Cesar Chavez gave a blunt prediction. If Crawford goes through with this fight, he will get knocked out. Chavez respects Crawford's abilities but believes that Canelo's strength at 168 is simply too overwhelming. His decades of experience add serious credibility to this warning.
The two fighters are going to be different weight classes, even though they're going to fight on a specific weight. He believes that they're just going because of the money, Crawford. But
O2 Sean Garcia joined the list of people warning Crawford. He praised Crawford's boxing intelligence, but underlined that Canelo's physical presence presents a wall that might be tough to scale. Garcia feels that in this particular clash, Ash talents might not be enough to overcome physical size and strategy him, and Crawford think, Canada is just too who Crawford.ri mean man, Terran, and Cranother, they're no, fighter. Gooder, got to give word it would do. He's in fighter G, fighter talented, and he'll for sure give a fight, and Canthat knows that Blake, L, cause, now, you experience his, weight andis, by no, is, and I think he'll, overpow properly or roperly and the later boxing promoter Eddie Hearn provided an interesting take by calling fight. He argued that while at attention, the massive weight gap makes it feel more like a stunt than a contest. Hearn test. Hearn added that I wins, offered wins. Fans might still discredit him due to the size difference on. The other hand wins, Anello wins. It will be cited as busual. Show usual. How is Crawford going to be able to bridge the gap? I don't can inky honesty. He might not be able to key our Saturday. Yes.
I say that Crawford can beat Canelo, no problem. I respect that. I just think they're stupid. Excuse my language. The size difference of a bigger man changes everything with one punch. And I can see the same thing. You saw Canelo Alvarez fighting Amir Khan. Now, look at this. Terrence Crawford moved from 47 to 54 to fight Madrimov. What did he do to Madrimov? Nothing. Okay, Madrimov is a 54-pounder. Now, to move up to 168, that's 2 more divisions. Canelo Alvarez will take any punch from Crawford, but I don't think Crawford will take any punches from Canelo. Remember, Canelo got hit by Triple G, the heaviest hitter in that division. And Canelo took those shots like a champ. I don't think Crawford has anything.
But you're coming 35, U35, F40, M47, 554.5, sooner, 54 sooner or later at many, E too many, and 68 is defined many, Y too many, but so brilliant. Brilky, he's genius. He's a genius, he's a gen great, onal great, so maybe he can find a eye to do it. But I feel he'd be hugely outsize. Canelo. Enest Canelo, but you have to move your movement if you're Terrence Crawford fight to the fight. The last thing you want to do is trade. He'd be moving a lot fight, hat time to me. I'm not saying running, but he would be move lot. He of course, that's the way to be a him. Yeah, Trainer Joel Diaz noted that one of Canelo's major advantages isn't just throwing hard blows, it's being able to take them from big fighters. Diaz claimed that Crawford might find it tough to injure Canelo in the ring, which could leave him susceptible over the duration of the fight. Interview 13 Bodzo 8, 14, Sos Oscar de la Hoya, former champion, and now are labeled the fight questioned whether it made sense from a competitive standpoint and referenced boxing history. In nearly every case where skilled fighter took on a much of the result favored the bigger man in a detailed discussion. William versus William Skull, L. William, M. back in New York. No. Oh, let's just say Canelo Crawford in the history Aries. The you see, Thursdays. I speak, the facts. It's alright, I'll even do it. Got a good has never beaten a good big man in the history of the game, unless you go back to certain situations with Pacquiao beating me, but I was a dead man walking anyway. But a good little man never beats a good big man. So it's a tough test for Crawford, but I'm not counting him out. The bottom line is this is the truth again. It's a money grab, that's it. Yeah, but Crawford doesn't rely on his power, he relies on his IQ. Crawford, what he did to Spence was magic, was incredible, was amazing. And so look, one thing about Canelo is that we all know that he walks in the ring as if there's wet cement, right? His footwork is a little too heavy. Crawford is such a smart fighter where he can just, he's like Bruce Lee, literally. And he's in his peak, he's his prime. And so I think that if that fight ever happens, which I don't think it will, if that fight ever happens, I have to go with Crawford there. You have it of De La Hoya, talking about Crawford journalist. Dan Raphael clashed with Steven, a Smith. Raphael argued that Crawford isn't doing this for a paycheck. He wants greatness, while Raphael respected Crawford's motivation. Even he admitted that the road to victory would be treacherous, according to him. Crawford would need a faultless approach just to have a chance. Not everyone is against the idea.
Terence Crawford is a marvelous boxer, arguably the best in the world, pound for pound. But can you hurt Canelo? If you can't hurt him, I have no doubt he can outbox him. My issue is, if you can't hurt him, what kind of a challenge can you truly pose? What do you say to that?
No, that's a great point. I mean, here's the thing. Canelo Alvarez has a historically great chin. Now, I go back way back when he first came to the United States and started boxing, and he found himself on an HBO pay-per-view undercard years and years ago, fighting against the older brother of the great Miguel Cotto. His name was Jose Miguel Cotto, and he had gotten a ton of hype. He had signed with Golden Boy Promotions, and a lot of those of us in the media. And I had seen him a couple of times before that. This is my first time seeing him in person, really paying close attention. And he almost got knocked out in the first round. And I remember Stephen A. almost looking around at Media Row going, what the heck is this all hyped about? This man can't take a shot. He's going to get drilled. He was lucky that the fight was over, that the round was over in round one, or there might have been some much more trouble. Stephen A., that was like, 16, 17 years ago. I've never seen him wobbled, rocked, physically, visibly hurt since then. He has an all-time great chin going in the ring with tremendous punchers. Terence Crawford coming up 2 weight classes. Do any damage? Yeah, he's a slick boxer, and he's also a good puncher in the welterweight division, in the junior welterweight division, in the lightweight division. But even at junior middleweight, which is where Terence Crawford had his most recent fight back in August, when he moved up and he won a world title, he didn't blow the doors off. He fought a very tough, solid opponent named Israel Madrimov. He gave him a good fight. It was very close. Madrimov's people seem to think he might have even been able to edge it out. But if you can't hurt an Israel Madrimov at 154, what the heck are you going to do with Canelo Alvarez, the sturdiest guy in the world, at 168? So that aspect of it is certainly a problem. You mentioned about Charlo. Charlo was there to get his check. I know one thing about Terence Crawford. He's not going to just come to turn up to get the check. He'll at least try. And Charlo, I don't think, really tried.
C. Est side dot C I say, go okay. Side, H I say, Sid okay. Say yeah, why yeah, can Canelo handle the sm faster? Yui, who's going to be better defensively? Ang too, who's going to? Sometimes, Canelo at this point in his C gets slowed down a little bit, Both getting older, or I get it. That's it for today's video. Stay tuned until tomorrow.